So I want to try to keep. I'm headed out, so I want to try to keep this very short as I possibly can, while still being effective in what I want to say. Um, okay, so there is clearly the world is watching something unfold in my life, right? And there are probably questions, I'm pretty sure. Um, Definitely. And as I'm over here and I'm doing my workout, I did my workout and I got in the shower and just like allowing my thoughts to flow as they do. I am actually, I, I hate that like I haven't been able to kind of carry my shower thoughts over to video. And I'm like, I guess I can do what I was doing essentially at one point, which was just like doing the audio while I'm in the shower and then creating a video out of that, which I guess I can do that. Um, but first, I want to say that I am extremely appreciative of every being, every spark of energy that has led me to this place that I am in right now, to that has contributed to my rebirth, contributed to me being this version of me that you see unfolding in front of you right now. You see my phoenix rising. She's getting her breath back. She's like, okay, I am bringing back all of the power that I initially inhabited and inherited at some point of time on this journey. And I am extremely grateful to anything that brought me here in this moment, because I'm here anyway, right? Like, I'm here right now. So what I'm gonna do with that energy, I'm gonna choose to be grateful for it because I'm here. And like, I'm looking in the mirror and I'm like, damn girl, you fine. Like, you was fine before, but like, and like, ooh, hey Darian, it's good to see you. It's been a long time. Like, okay. Thank you for allowing me to have you back, girl. Like, rebirthing myself through myself and through my environment. So it was pretty cool because essentially while I was in the shower, it was that moment of saying, like, based off of my my life through my lens and my perception, the life that I had to live, um, outside of like being understanding, aware, and compassionate of everybody else, like I've always been. When I take anybody or anything else off the table, and just based off of the path that I have walked, for me, like, I'm extremely grateful to be standing here today and being able to rebirth who I was initially crowned to be. And the image that I continue to get going through my head is like a woman being out, like one of our ancestors, one of our, like, she's me though. Like, at some point in time, if something in history created the environment for her to go off or go outside or be by herself, bearing against whatever elements, against whatever, to bring forth this beautiful life that she has inside of her, right? And creating the safest environment, the softest environment in nature to allow that to happen, to allow nature to assist her. That's one of the visuals that I keep getting, and that woman ends up sometimes turning to me being outside, birthing myself, and then it brings me back to the beginning of how I came in here, and then even whatever channels I'm getting to say how I came in here, and whatever perceptions and whatever things that I can take on some other level on different times that I can, if I want to tap into that at different times like I have. And then like it's bringing it back to how I was brought in here, a gift of the universe, connected to the entire universe, right? Like connected to all of the realms. That was me. And then in that, the universe essentially raised me, and in raising me, the universe allowed whatever was in my environment to be used as teaching tools and to be used as fuel to continue to spur me to get me where I needed to be without allowing anyone to truly be able to break me down the way that they probably wanted to do, or maybe some part of their soul tribe was keeping them back because they understood that to violate such a beautiful being such as myself the way that some of them probably wanted to would be detrimental to their whole fucking organization, right? Like to their whole entire universe and everything connected to it. That's what's coming through right now. So whatever anybody was able to get off, I was able to be protected, and in that be a gift for whoever came before me that was attached to me, to be able to have the privilege and the honor and the power behind me and within me and around me, and backing me to be able to keep people off of me to the best of my ability, to be able to keep them from entering me without my permission, to some extent. Like there were still multiple violations that should not have happened. And also through me at this moment, there's a message that's saying like my ancestors and my spiritual team was like, enough is a fuck enough. Like, no, we not doing that. And whatever physical abuse, whatever physical punches and whatever I had to that was thrown at me for whatever reason, that I was able to withstand essentially withstand to be standing here. Whatever was tried to be forced down my mouth and in my system so forcefully, so ugly, just like some of my ancestors and some of my spiritual team had to experience on whatever level, right? And whatever choices they made to be able to be connected to me, to be backing me, to be able to purge that shit out, to be able to rinse it out, to be able to clear through it all, and to be able to get to wherever it is that I am going to be guided, wherever I'm meant to be, wherever I can be, wherever the possibilities are endless, right? To be able to enact the natural freedoms that I am supposed to have, especially being born anyway, being born as a melanated, gifted being on this planet that belongs to me and my people any freaking way. Like, whatever has come through and touched it and contaminated anything or twisted anything, or whatever choices that others have made that has led for me to ever have an existence that I had leading up to here, however we want to perceive it, with whatever anybody else stuff was, like me as my being here in all of my experiences, and being very grateful for the quote unquote positive experiences and the outpour of love and care that I receive in return. Whatever was the intention of anything else, when it was filtered through me, thankfully it was filtered through the lens of love. So that's what I received, the lens of love and the lens of help, because that's who I am at core. And I just believe that there are many people that was like, you know what, that was able to see beyond what I was able to see, and was like, yeah, we gonna help you. and them and they team or whatever it is. Like there are many multiple perspectives that can be taken as we have seen, and however I purge through my system through all of these perspectives, may you purge through or may you listen with your ears, however that may be to you, because you can hear whatever I go through and then you can see whatever it is on your side or whatever this may be for you, because at the end of the day, as I said coming out the gate a long time ago, this is my journey. And there are a lot of pieces of the puzzle that I don't have. I don't know what led me to be here, and can't nobody really give me the answer that benefits them, that makes sense outside of me saying that some supernatural shit happened to me. And okay, like, here we go. I don't know. I clearly did a whole physical embodiment of me, and the messages that I'm getting is saying it's okay, it was part of the plan, I was cloaked for a reason because I needed to be here. So I'ma just take it all in stride, because ain't no Western medicine telling me anything about this, and I ain't really tapped into nothing else yet that's telling me anything. So I'ma go with that. And in this, embracing all that, the creativity of who I am as a natural woman that comes along with this moment right now, based off of a lot of things that I've already experienced. It's a beautiful thing, and I have so much information, and I'm really like looking at all these businesses coming across my timeline, like, damn, I thought about that. All of the herbal, all the herbal, non-alcoholic, quote unquote, drinks and cocktails and stuff. I was freaking working on that how many years ago when I was working on something else. Like, it just seemed that that would have been my natural. I was already working on that idea and using my mixology skills from bartending. I was like, okay, it's gonna be non-alcoholic drinks. How can I do this? And then when I see how it's been elevated now, I'm like, according to my trajectory with herbs and everything, I probably would have already tapped into that by now, and I didn't, like, at that point of time. But to see that it's, to see where it's at, and to see how I would have been included, integrated into this business plan like I had, and then seeing this over here, and it's a beautiful thing. Even though sometimes I'm like, damn, like, dang, all my wealth, but and also, like, nothing is gonna pass me by. It can't at this point. Like, I've been making sure that when I get to where I'm supposed to go, that I have something very, very powerful waiting on me on many aspects. And hopefully it also comes in the energy of a powerful ass man or two or whatever is meant for me, right? Like, I'm open, I'm a damn woman. Divine woman is what they keep telling me, and if they thought that it wasn't meant for me, that is definitely meant for me. Divinity. Um so as I am purging, because I have to purge, it's just natural to me. It's just naturally what's happening. And there are some things that I say, and sometimes some names come out and I can't. I mean, I try to be really respectful and really careful with what names is coming through, because all of this is new to me, and I don't know what's new to other people. And then I get messages, like, it's been some people that said that I ain't supposed to do this alone, and I understand where they were coming from. And also, my spirit is not allowing me to be around anybody and have this moment with anybody else. So this childbirth of myself is assuming it's presumably mostly supposed to be with me and whoever else can catch me throughout the air, as I am an air sign, which is what I talked about. A lot of stuff I came out the gate, meaning one message yesterday when I was streaming on Instagram, they took that baby down quick, citing violence. And if that's how somebody perceived my passion and the words that was coming out my mouth, then okay, um, you entitled, they entitled, is all they platforms for real. That's why I be trying to get off they shit, uh, for real, like, yeah, because I don't really feel like I need to be censored. Why do I have to be censored? people say all kind of stuff. I guess because they got more money, they got more backing, they got more connections, or whatever it is. So some people can say whatever the hell they want, and then when it come to us, they like, oh no, you can't. No, it's not said polite enough or easy enough for me and my ears, and all the things that I've had to consume that was I end up choosing to make digestible for my ears and my spirit for whatever moment that I made the choice to do so. Um, and I'm just extremely, extremely, extremely proud to still be me, to still be able to look in the mirror, even with this perspective of maybe things were not as simple as I was looking at them, even though they weren't. Like, I was sitting next to people and I was looking at them in the best light, because how could I do anything else? Even though I was seeing some other stuff and hearing some other stuff and not really knowing where to place it, and then trying to the best of my ability to give as much grace and understanding and compassion as I could, coming from my perspective and what I was picking up in the environment and what was being sent to me and told to me in various environments about different people, and automatically, well, for the most part, trying not to allow anybody else's behaviors um, or opinions of other people dictate how I felt about them. Now, I mean, I'm in the environment, so I'm gonna take all information and use it accordingly to what I need it for, even if I'm unintentionally causing harm to somebody or if it's false information. Because I'm like, I ain't think like that. Why you coming to me telling me anything that's false about anybody, what I'm supposed to do with it? So there are some bases and stuff that I probably didn't cover because my heart and my mind just didn't roll like that. You know, I've heard growing up just like anybody else about women not being able to be friends with each other and stick together, and you're supposed to keep your woman away from your man, and all these damn rules about women and friendships and togetherness that I just kind of really didn't understand. Because how can that be possible when I'm surrounded by a bunch of women who defy these odds, in my opinion, who, when I'm having conversations with them and we connect, then like it's a little bit different. And even when I see something that resounds or looks similar, I gotta look deeper and be like, all right, you might need this energy, so I'ma just go ahead and know that that shit ain't really got nothing to do with me, and I love you anyway, so we gonna try to figure this out, how close you can be close to me without like really affecting me that I know about, and still hopefully be helped, because like some part of my soul recognize the hurt in your soul, and I recognize that like it could have possibly been me, and at some point in time it kind of ended up being me to a distance, to an extent. And it feels like at this point when I get the messages that from that a lot of times, sometimes people was throwing shit in my path so that I could trying to teach me a lesson, or so that I could see something from their point of view, or whatever it is. And I mean, that ain't got nothing to do with me. It is what it is. Like, if we gonna make obstacle courses out of shit that I'm already doing, if anybody ever had the intention of like coming into my life to make something harder for me just because I already knew how to handle hard, or just because you wanted to show me something, that ain't really got nothing to do with me, even though maybe it should have. But no. And also maybe somebody was like, oh, you got some answers, maybe I can introduce you this way and you can kind of tell me. I don't know, that ain't for me to think about at this time. um I'm just like, there's a lot of messages that come across me, and as stated in the previous live, like I gotta feel it when it comes across, and some stuff it be like, ooh, I don't necessarily want to say it, and at the same time, also like I can't stop from saying it. So whatever you see, it's gonna come out because it gotta come out. And even in helping, even in anything in the writing, like any messages that I'm receiving about writing. I just can't really write at this moment. Like a lot of my messages and stuff is coming across verbally on video, so it must be important for people to be able to see me, whatever that is. And as it transitions to other things, it's gonna transition to other things. In the meanwhile, hey, here I am, y'all. And so, so that's one thing that crossed my mind during my shower meditation, or as I was in the shower and in the water. And then another aspect that I feel might need to be mentioned, which I don't know, is that um, I don't remember what led up to this thought, so I'll just speak the thought itself. And I was thinking about how when Kamala and Joe Biden first started unveiling the student forgiveness loans, like, right. And I remember after a couple checks into it, going and be like, hey man, ain't none of this really benefiting us down here. Like a lot of these student loans, like forgivenesses, is for plus loans and any loans that like parents took out through the bank for their children, which automatically negates people like myself who was independent and didn't have no parent and wasn't, or those that didn't have the credit to even be eligible for a plus loan. So therefore it's like the same thing in this system. Like those of us that are down here at the bottom are essentially supposed to be at the bottom. So with the student loan forgiveness that they are passing out, is essentially only for those that's at a certain level anyway. So you still want to saddle us down here that's already struggling with stuff with more bills. Because do you understand how much it is per month for a student loan bill? You got me fucked up. I'm supposed to be going to school free anyway. This is my land. Like, what kind of crap is that? Why do I have to pay to go to damn school? For education, for knowledge. Like, y'all crazy. And then when you gonna tell me like I need to be in service in a certain industry for over 15, 20 years or whatever it is, 10 years, 10 to 20 years, whatever it is, to get the freaking service forgiveness, like for my loan. I gotta work as a teacher. Like, how you gonna tell me, nigga, I've been working in care and service all my damn life, and because I'm not doing it in the field that you say and bringing in whatever paperwork that you say, like now it's like null and void? What the fuck kind of system is this? Do you think that it's like, so y'all want us to stay down here, and anybody that get in that office, as far as I'm concerned, all you do is stomp your heel in a little bit further? For me, that's how it feel like, because how many presidents we done had, and I'm still here. And thankfully, I can use whatever my resources is to go abroad. So I guess I'm supposed to be thankful for, because something is falling down on some hierarchy. Okay, like what is making it softer right here? Because when I look around, we still essentially living in food deserts. We still essentially living in food deserts, which is crazy because one of my old coworkers told me a long time ago, a few years ago, that I should like create a manual and resources about the things that I know and the things that I do. And I was just like, I don't understand, because it's like so normal for me. And then when we did have farms, the local farmers, the local people that was growing, that I used to go to and just get the produce and stuff because it was way cheaper than the grocery stores, all of a sudden what they started getting closed down. So y'all going down and y'all closing down our farms and our neighborhoods, and then creating legislation and bills and making it illegal for us to freaking grow our food organically and naturally. And then I'm like, hey man, why are we fighting to get our food into they damn stores and stuff when we can just create our own markets and our own exchange? And you ain't even got to worry about what's happening with your soil. You ain't got to do nothing damaging. You ain't got to add no chemicals to your damn soil. Why would you do that? Like, why would you poison the food supply because they telling you that you got to do certain stuff, or you can't have certain things, or your soil got to be like this in order to be able to get in that grocery stores? Like, why? Why? Does that make sense to y'all, to be able to decide that these niggas is making decisions to poison the earth to bring forth what? What? And why do Bill Gates own how much percentage of the land of that? Like, here in the United States, why the fuck is we giving him land? Why are we giving them land? Do we not know what they've been doing? Like, ain't nobody else seeing nothing? And oh, unless I'm supposed to be feeling like, oh, that's a conspiracy, that stuff don't happen. That shit ain't out there for nothing. I believe there's some truth to everything. Now, he got a lot of stuff connected to their name, to their organization, whether it's them or whether they got some stuff up under them. I don't follow them like that, but I'm just trying to say that it's a lot connected to that name, and a lot of damage and a lot of stuff connected to them and them vaccines. And like I said, even when we talking about that, all the research that was out about the vaccine before it even came over here, and all of the studies and stuff, like, what are y'all telling? Why is y'all telling me that this study over here is saying that it's creating freaking a higher rate of positive HIV tests? Like, how is that related? And then when you go looking into the enzymes and the chemicals and whatever they put in it and how it's over here, and then you create that all the way to the like HIV medicines that they coming out with now, and just like all the connections and stuff that automatically start happening, like, oh, okay, y'all are trying to make some money and y'all are trying to reintroduce something that like y'all supposedly got a hand over, which actually, if I'm correct, Dr. Sebi already showed us that you can cure it, which goes to show why y'all was on the spree of getting rid of herbal naturalists and herbal doctors a couple years ago. Like, we doing too much for y'all. It's the system. Like, if I'm trying to keep y'all sick, how dare you tell them how to get free? And then the other thing is that the things that we do in abundance, like, why we, and it's nothing wrong with wanting to have sage and palo santos, but why over here do we gotta go and go so crazy? Why do we find out something and we gotta just disrupt the whole ecosystem to take all of it for a trend? That's the only thing that I don't like. And I be wondering if these local lands is being saying no, like, get out of here, y'all can't have no more. Like, what? Or if everybody just looking at the dollar, the profit margin, and it's like, why did we make that the damn dangle, the carrot in the dangle? Like, why do we allow these systems to come in and decide that those are the systems that we must abide by and live by? When you look at the majority of us, are we happy with any of that? Because I done traveled across the world at this point in time, and I see how some of these systems got us living way beyond, beneath the ways that we should be able to live, even in like lands of such beauty. So like, who are they essentially? Like, who are you hiding behind there? And why ain't nobody went and got y'all? Why y'all think y'all so protected? Why the hell do y'all? Oh, because they gotta protect you, because you start seeing the chain of command of stuff, and man, you get to see why the revolutions was only allowed to get so far on certain plantations. Like, because somebody got inside, or somebody got a little too comfortable, somebody got a little too much fearful. And I ain't even dogging nobody for real. This is not meant to be an insult. Somebody decided that what they had over here looked a whole lot better than the gamble that could be over there, and they decided that they was gonna settle over here for whatever it is, and that's just what happened. And that would have been cool if you ain't try to suppress nothing else that's happening over here. But I guess if that's your job, and that's kind of why you gotta say, like, this slavery stop. And it is a choice, because for some of your job is to stop the revolution any kind of way possible. How do we know? What did Bob Marley say? When we gonna stop allowing them to kill our freaking prophets? and you look at them. Why? Because they don't look how you think they should look. They ain't talking how you want them to talk. They views ain't looking how you want their views to look. Like, why they gotta shut up? Why they spirits gotta go to the other side? Why you feeling so freaking scared? Why you feeling so pressed? Why you feeling so, what's the word that I challenged? So no, that's not the word I'm looking for. It's a specific word. Why do you feel so threatened? Because of something else coming along that's a little different. You can't handle different. You can't handle different. You can't handle a little bit of, I don't know, discussion, a little bit of challenge. Something that's supposed to be a little different, especially for some of y'all that hold some of these books so tight to your hand, to your chest. Why do any woman gotta be stifled for your palate, for her to be considered royalty, a god, or anything else? And if that's what you want, if that's your preference, that's fine for you to have it. But for you to then decide that the next woman don't deserve something just because she ain't looking and acting the way that you want to, then who the hell do you think you are? Like, so only certain women can be covered under your protection, and that's fine. If that's what it is, then that's what it is. Then just allow it to be that, and you ain't got to talk about this unless you trying to do something that's gonna help her. Are you trying to do something that's gonna help her? And that doesn't mean trying to demean her or shrink her down to size or create. Did you go in and have a conversation and decide like who she want to be? If her environment decided that she could be something different, did you pay attention to the stuff that she naturally drawn to before she got to look at the price tag? Did you ask questions to see like you drawn to that? Why didn't you pick it up? Like, even if what money wasn't an option, would you wear it because you was drawn to it, or what brought that over here? Like, you talking about you don't like what she wearing or anything like that? Like, what you contributing to it? Why should she change anything different? Because you said it, and why did you feel the need to say it if you wasn't gonna help assist with anything? Just to get your opinion out, right? And I guess we all do it at some point. I'm probably definitely still guilty of it, and I apologize for anybody because I definitely try to be careful. And then I realized that some women want to know stuff, so I try to be a little gentle when I add my 2 cents and something that they might want to know that's very important to them. Because when I look in the mirror before I go out, for the most part, I'll be like, all right, I'll check, I'm good. Like, for the most part, like, yeah, because whatever they got is what they gonna get. I ain't got to do too much extra, and sometimes I enjoy playing and stuff. My makeup is minimum, so but it don't matter. Like, I feel like women are beautiful who they are, and I would love for women to embrace like I'm naturally beautiful. And also, I like to play and dress up. I like to be my own Barbie. I like to be my own baby doll. I like to freaking wear costumes, and the costume is my face or my hair or my nails or whatever that is. Like, this is what makes me glamorous. And I love that for us. And I'm also like, and this is what makes me feel glamorous. And sometimes I like to do some of that to this degree. Like, I can only handle this much. And if you want to, you can play. You can play on my face, on my canvas. Uh, is let's see what you gonna do with it. Like, why it can't be fun? Why it gotta be a you doing this or you doing that, or so it ain't? No, like, why can't we just share the cultures because it's there? And if somebody interested enough that they like want to peek over, why I gotta freaking sign my life over to come over here and be like, it's a gang, I can't get out? Like, what? Why is it such an issue for people that want to lead the church to lead the church? Why is it such an issue for anybody to start second guessing and having questions and deciding that, like, hey, your attitude done changed, I get to check you too. Like, however you think you get to talk to me, I get to talk to you right back, because at the end of the day, I'm a grown person just like you a grown person. And even if it's the child, like, who decided that the ones that's closest to the damn other side don't have the keys of knowledge and decided that, like, we gonna do whatever to shut them up? And how are we allowing environments to exist that don't allow us the freedom and the tools to be able to allow and nurture our freaking babies, to tell us what they need, to tell us what they want, to tell us how to teach them, to tell us what they're interested in, without trying to break them down or squeeze them into these boxes that's going to be acceptable to this society. What the hell is this society? Like, who is it? Who they got to be acceptable for? Why can't some people understand that some kids come in here way different than what you think that is acceptable for them to be different naturally? Even in the healthiest environment, it can happen. And that you need to be open-minded enough to be able to accept that being how it is. I don't understand why that's anybody's difficulty and range of understanding. And then I also, yes, I do, because it goes back to your environment and your culture. And if you feel like that's what you need to do, then I guess that's what you need to do. And then you can look at my life and whatever it is with your opinions or anything and be like, that's exactly why we gonna do this. Or, dang, I might need to look and see what kind of area that's gonna be creating, like what kind of life that can be creating. Because some people looking at me possibly like I got exactly what I wanted, and especially if I was the little girl that y'all heard, like I deserve to get. There's people that's like definitely like, okay, we see why ain't nobody want you. We see. I know it gotta be because it passed my dang on. It passed through me hard a couple times. Like, woo. And I was like, I've seen that though. Like, I've seen that. And I've also probably been I don't want to say replica, but I'm pretty sure when I was younger, I repeated some things and I did some things. Like, I've probably been a channel of that same information at one time before I got to a place where I could dump all that and start putting on a different lens, a different perspective, and channeling different things, right? So, anyway, I ain't come on here for all that. I actually just wanted to say that, like, it's beautiful for where I am at this moment today, because this is still a journey. It can be very emotional. And also, I'm coming into some empowerment. And um, it doesn't matter, because I could still be crying in like an hour or something for now, even if the tears don't actually fall from my eyes, even if they just like in here, even if I just feel it in my heart and my spirit. Like, sometimes it's just like I feel so many tears of being here, because it is associated with a lot of loss, even even as I am getting a lot of discovery and a lot of birth. But that's what birth is. They say, I read something the other day that came up and it said that when a woman gives birth, she has to mourn also the version of her that existed before that moment. As you're giving birth, you're also shedding your old self. So when I gave birth to my daughter, she took a definite piece of old self. She took a whole lot of stuff with her, right? And then now that I'm rebirthing my original being as an adult in so many ways, as a grown ass woman, I am also mourning everything that I'm losing that was connected to this old version of me. And I don't even know what that's going to mean on the other side, right? Like, if it means that I lose everything that was attached to that or not. Because in this space, I'm like, okay with a lot of things. Like, I don't feel connected to anybody. And I'm assuming that that's okay for what it has to be okay for. That it is, it's okay for what it has to be okay for. It's nothing wrong with that. It's a part of my process. It's like I got to, I don't know, the top of the mountain, and then it was like, Okay, sit down. Like, here you go. And everything just, it is what it is. I don't know, man. It's really hard to explain. It's really hard to explain. And I get a lot of stuff that I just don't understand because I'm on another side than I was before. And I'm not afraid of it at all. I ain't been here before, not in this place, so I'ma just do what my spirit and my body guides me to do, just like it does in childbirth. And this time, I don't have any outside medical influences or anything, and I get to just be able to listen to my instincts, and then I'm gonna go out in nature as much as possible and let nature guide me. And it's kind of unfortunate that I don't really get to go out here and walk in the grass and stuff like I was before, because there's so many dogs around here all of a sudden that they just like letting them loose on the grass. That makes me sometimes feel like it's purposeful, but it is, and it is what it is. Like, I'ma still tap in how I can, even if I gotta ground on the pavement. Like, it just kind of is what it is. I'm still going to allow myself to get what I need. Um, and in that, as I was told by a loved one, like, I am possibly, what was her words? Like, I'm possibly the 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 body, like I'm what my ancestors couldn't do. I'm doing all the stuff that my ancestors couldn't be. I'm grieving all of the things they couldn't grieve. I'm processing all of the things that they couldn't process. I'm speaking a lot of the things that they couldn't say. My battle with the Christian God is the battle of not just me. It's a lot of people attached, a lot of souls attached to that. So, like, as I speak out loud at times, like now, that message that I got then that I heard but really didn't make much sense to me, as I'm speaking now, is resonating a little differently. It's like a lot more powerful. So as I take this journey, as I'm as I'm rebirthing, because I feel like at this point I went through I went through the labor and the contraction. I went through the pregnancy period. Clearly, I went through the 10 months, and I'm assuming that I was one of them girls that was on that be on the I didn't know I was pregnant show, like, until I was having the baby. That was me, because I ain't know anything was coming until that damn, I don't even know if the first contraction hit. Like, I wasn't hit until probably I was in the heat of my labor, right? Which I guess it goes to also show that there was a point in time where labor was not painful, and we can still have a time where, like, labor does not have to be considered painful. I read that in an article, and I was like, that's really interesting. Just like on Grey's Anatomy, when I learned that, like, if you stimulate yourself sexually, if you have a couple orgasms or something while you in labor, it can definitely help with the pain. And then learning about all of the reasons why, the dopamine, the adrenaline and dopamine, like all of whatever comes in, I thought that was pretty cool information. So, like, I gather information from across the board. So I'm gonna just say that that's kind of what it was. And all the afterbirth and the umbilical cord and all of that came out, and it was me. So I've been laying myself on my chest, being doing skin to skin, nurturing myself, and now looking around my environment and processing everything that I probably can about what came in, what I just passed through from my last lifetime. That is still so very close, but yet so very far. It's so crazy. Like, my memories are like, it's a whole block, and then certain ones come through, and then it's a whole lot of connection with my spiritual team. So I guess there's a peak for those that didn't know exactly maybe how it was for me as a kid when I tell y'all that I have some of these gifts already as a kid. And maybe now you get the witness, possibly depending on how big your imagination can be, or for those watching, I don't even know how much of a stretch that it has to be for you to be able to see that. And then to be able to look at yourself and your children and your environment in anything that you have watched and be like, damn, how powerful were we? And like, does that make you want to get back? Does that make you overwhelmed? Like, I don't know what anybody else could do with that information, because me being the portal and the body and the medium and the woman that is going through it, it is what it is. And I can only see what I can see until I'm allowed to see another perspective when I'm projected through this vehicle of my mouth. And even in that, there's like so many visuals that I get, and so much happening in my environment, and all of them, all of them. So I guess we witnessing the rebirth of Nikki J. I mean, Darian Nichelle. But I decided I'm gonna stay Nikki J. I mean, you know, so far I don't know. Like, as far as I know at this moment, it's going to be, I'm going to keep my stage name, or I mean, I can use Darian Nichelle and I can use Nikki J. They both got my blood, sweat, and tears and body all up in my experiences, you know. So yeah, it's my rebirth, and like, I've rebirthed myself in a place and time where it's supposed to be looking nice for me. It's supposed to be looking nice. And it's like, oh, I see so many of the systems, as I have seen so many of the systems, and how they not for us. Because why is it that black women cannot give, in this United States, cannot give birth on a large scale safely, no matter what their freaking income bracket is? Did you not hear Serena? Why is Serena Williams ever getting close to death for negligence of anybody when she's giving birth? Do you not know who she is? And that's the same with any woman that walks into your damn office that's carrying life. Do you not know that you treat that gently? Why are you using such forceful measures to get a baby out of a woman? It doesn't need all that. Where did y'all go wrong? What went wrong? What needs to be different? You're going to take something? Do you not know how fragile a freaking baby is? You know how fragile a baby is. So what was it about that baby, that woman, that situation that made you grab some freaking forceful clamps or something and pull that baby so freaking hard that it has some damage to it? Some irreparable damage. What? And I don't even follow those stories. I try not to follow those stories too far deep, because what? That shit sticks with me. And I refuse. I got my limits too. This is my vessel. And some of the information that come to me, I refuse to dive too deep into it. I'm not going to do it. Like, I'm not carrying nothing else. My mission is what it is. So I will get the information as much as possible, and some stuff I just gotta skip. I just gotta skip for somebody else. Like, no, I can't read. I can't do that. I can empathize, and I can have compassion, and I can cry for you over here. Like, with this much, like, I gotta put up that barrier. But like, and why are we losing our babies? Because cowards is too, like, because y'all shooting in the street or in the air, or why is this the environment that we create? And not even saying that it's entertainment. Like, y'all fools don't know how to get out of that. Like, if you gonna watch it on there, let that stay there. If that's your entertainment. or use some knowledge, use some of it to gain knowledge to be able to do something to protect your community, your family, your people. Like, y'all don't, we missing something. Like, all the crap that they done put in our environment done made us lose something, like the capacity to be able to cipher through and to be able to freaking connect the dots to a way that, like, the beautiful and beloved Panthers did. Because everybody talk about the Panthers. I don't know how deep y'all know or whatever, but essentially y'all talk about Malcolm and y'all talk about Martin. So what is it that makes you not want to take whatever information that you are gleaming from anything and use it for empowerment? That woman on there twerking her ass, guess what? She earned the right to go on there without whatever clothes on and twerk her fucking ass. She a black woman. Do you know the things that have happened to us? Do you know how much has been trying to be stripped from us, from our body? Do you understand how too many of us gotta fight for the right of our body? So when I decide that, like, I done fought and I want to get on here and I decide that whatever choice is in front of me, I'm gonna use this choice, and whether that is shaking my ass in the strip club or whether that is shaking my ass on the TV screen, if I'm confident enough to do it, I'm gonna do it. And in that, you talking about what kind of inspiration I'm out of my kids. Hopefully, confidence, whatever that may look like to them. Like, what? And who decided that she didn't have no confidence because that's what she was doing? Do you know how much confidence that take? Do you know how much confidence that take? Do you know how proud of your body to some extent that you gotta be? And I'm not really like I'm not the messenger for plastic surgery and stuff, because that's going too far for me. Like, I'm not about to do it. And also, it exists so women have the right and men have the right to use that tool to create a body that they are happy with, if that's what they need, if that's what's them. Like, I don't think it's worth it, but somebody does. So when you see a woman that decides that, like, she comfortable without wearing no clothes, who are you to decide and cast so quick of judgment on her so fast that, like, deciding that she useless, that now she can no longer be partnered up, that she can no longer be a fit mother, that she can no longer be an acceptable woman to talk to be friends with, to be a productive member of society? Like, do y'all know how insane that is? Why? Maybe you need to go get your eyes checked. And if you decide that, like, if anything, if you looking at her and have anything, you might, only thing that I feel like you can say is that she might need some protection. And then you decide to protect her the way that she might need protecting. That don't mean that you try to stuff her in your box now and try to fit her over here. No, if you looking at her and you feel any kind of way, maybe your ass is supposed to be over there protecting her from whatever the fuck you throwing at her. Maybe that's supposed to be your message, that you need to go cover her. However it is that she need covering, because clearly if she decided, did you ask her if she was comfortable or cool with that without trying to make her feel bad? Did you ask her if that somebody else made her dress like that? Because I be feeling like it's a lot of information and a lot of stuff that people say that they could deal with, and that they, like, so in reverence of, oh, in Africa we used to walk around naked, but when they do that around here, then it's the problem. And you spewing all kind of damn curses and stuff at them. For what? Why? If she ain't for you, keep it moving. Keep it moving. And if you have any thought or anything that you want to throw against that woman for that, guess what you need to do? Take that up with your creator. Maybe go figure out, because hopefully your creator got a balance, a masculine and feminine energy, and figure out, like, why you thought that was okay, and then maybe you might need to go apologize and pay penance, and then ask what you can do to be of service to her and her cause or whatever it is she doing. And I understand that, like, there's a plus and there's two sides. Like, some women want to cover up because they understand the environment that we are in, and they like, I need my partner with me. Like, this ain't the fight that I need you to be in, and that's cool too. But a woman that is not thinking like that does not make her right or wrong, because there are women that's also like, why can't we collectively make this environment safe enough for me to be able to maneuver however I want? Because let's not be acting crazy and act like fully covered women get any less abused than freaking lightly covered women. Why is that the issue? Why is it the issue? That shouldn't be the issue. And it feels like sometimes that we so want to protect those that are creating the toxicity in the environment itself. And I'm not talking about the music or the TV shows or anything that represents what's out here. I'm talking about what's actually out here. I'm talking about what's actually out here. The cousin, the brother, the sister, the aunt, the grandmother, whatever that is. The environment. The political leaders that y'all keep freaking telling us to vote for. Like, what? And not to even be like that, because I'm about to cut this short, but to try to tell me to be mad at Trump because he a racist when we know that every president been racist. So to me, he just doing something that's out the closet. And yes, he might be, and yes, he may be passing some legislation and doing some stuff. I'm not necessarily supporting him. I ain't supporting none of them, because like I said, down here, I'm looking like, where is my benefit? And why is it so hard for me to find out which one of these judges is unfairly locking my people up? Like, let me, because I've been trying to go online and for when I'm doing my papers and look at individual stats and stuff like that, and it's, why am I not digging that far? Because if you telling me that my vote count, then like, hey, and right now I just kind of got to guess and do the best that I can based off of whatever information that I had available to me. And like, I ain't really about to go sit in your courtrooms all day. So just like it's easy enough for me to do a Google search for the stuff that y'all deem unnecessary, well, I need to be able to do a Google search and see your cases to extent and see the stats of them, to see what you doing and how you ruling, because we all know it ain't fair. I'm just saying, like, I don't know. It's just, I ain't about to go off in a tangent. But what I am saying is that, for me, the moment anybody got to start screaming about Trump being racist was like my turn to look in the other direction, because when has the media ever really cared about anybody being racist to us? So now why do you need my attention on that? And it could have been a war cry for somebody else, but that didn't move me. That didn't move me, because who wasn't? Who wasn't? To some extent, if that's what you growing up to with. And as a white boy in America, in that tax bracket or with that, you got to, I mean, you gonna be biased to some degree, and hopefully at some point in time you done tapped enough, you done been around enough melanin magic where you start seeing a different perspective, and you like, all right, let me see if I can use my position to help them, no matter how it looks out there. Like, I don't know, because the president still don't, I don't know why y'all don't get that the president still don't run nothing, or maybe that y'all, they do, like, to y'all, like, they run whatever. Everybody got to have something, some skin in the game, I guess. Like, y'all crazy if y'all think y'all watch all that TV and politics don't get dirty. Politics ain't shit. That this country ain't doing. Man, get out of here. Alright. And not just this one. It ain't just this one. It ain't just one. Anywho, Um, I appreciate any energy that I said that is enveloping me at this point in time, that is allowing me to, is that is helping me to flow through this and to be able to have um I want to say my sanity. I guess to be able to have my sanity still. Why is that so funny? Because if I was anybody else, if I was probably at another place in my life or anything, I don't know. But it is definitely unexpected. This journey has definitely been unexpected. I ain't see this coming at all. I wasn't doing nothing on purpose to get here. And so I'm going to take it as a win. That whatever got me here, that whatever whatever, I don't know if it was a forced water break or what. We're going to go back to the rebirth. I don't know what happened in my environment that forced my water break. And definitely immaculate conception. I guess she needed that. She was like, before anybody else touch you, we done been across the world and you ain't been touched. So before anything shall happen, let us rebirth ourselves. Immaculate conception of a woman. That goes back to tell y'all that, like, I don't know why anybody think that a woman couldn't been on this earth creating life way before a counterpart came. Hey, you see that magic shit? Just walk out one skin into another. And I wasn't even doing no rituals yet. Not like that. Wait till y'all hear my other message about, bleeding on the earth and all of that. I don't even know if I put that out there. I probably said it in one of that. I was like, damn. I said that was sweet. That was sweet. Gotta give myself credit. Ooh, boom. She got it like that. But I'm saying, I guess I could just say it again. Why not? Because I don't think that it really has to be a hierarchy for real. Like, and if it is, of course, it's going to be woman. But a woman saying that she is God and that she is the beginning, the end, and everything in between does not and should not ever make a man feel like he needs to counter that, or he needs to feel like he needs to swell up at or that, or he needs to argue it, or he needs to claim or let it be known that, like, he the man and he got an important part in the equation, because nobody said that. By a woman owning who she is and her power and her divinity should not ever, ever, ever make a man feel like now he's not needed or wanted, or that he's less than that same divinity if she's telling you that she's the beginning, the end, and everything getting in between and in the middle. And if you in there, that means you by default are the beginning, the end, and the middle, because you come from her at some point in time through some other channel, through some other existence. So why in the hell would you ever think that that meant that, like, you were any less? And if you do take it that way and you feel like you gotta swell up and you feel like you gotta express yourself and defend it, or now you got to put her in her place so that you can rise up, guess what? You got a lot more work to do, and you need to start working on your divinity. And that has nothing to do with that woman. And the same thing, like, I need women to get in their power, to get there, whatever that is to you. Because I'm aware that, like, women got a lot of stuff going on. I done seen a lot of stuff. I done heard a lot of stuff. Like, it's a lot of stuff that needs to be cleared out and cleansed and made right from women too. Cause yeah, we do shit too. I am not ignorant to that shit. I grew up in the hood. I done heard all kind of stories. I done heard all kind of stories, and I done did some stuff myself. Whether it, I mean, what it is, what it is, like whether I saw something wrong with it or not. And I probably was cool with it until somebody else made a comment that made me feel like it was now an issue. Like, why I gotta be an issue? We ain't gotta make this an issue. And that's why don't y'all level up so it ain't gotta be no issue. Why is it an issue? What's the part? And when it comes down to sex, I'm like, oh, we need a whole lot of sexual healing in this culture. A whole lot of it, and it ain't gotta look like anybody's freaking opinion, but what it is for you personally when it's healthy and is what you want to do. Like, what? And sex is sacred, and it can be sacred to you. It's your sacred gift to give out how you see fit, and it's all sacred because you are sacred and you indulging in it. And the more protective you get of your energy and your divinity, then naturally you just gonna be more sacred. Like, I don't understand that. I don't understand that at all. Like, and then it's usually to the women. Like, get out of here. I know I'm a portal. I know I'm a portal. Especially now. Like, I know I'm a portal. And I know that I can be healing and all kind of stuff. So if my spirit is saying I can heal you, you, and you, then why can't I heal you, you, and you? I'm just throwing out stuff. So like when I say if it's sex is the issue, like some of y'all need to be in somebody's therapy and somebody's couch to figure out why you think that that's the problem. That's the only problem. And I ain't rushing nothing to nobody because it ain't really like, I'm just putting out some perspectives. And everybody want to do stuff in secret. Like, so just be honest about it. Just be honest. Just be real. I don't understand why we can't just be real about it. Like, you want to do whatever. Like, we got a whole lot of stuff happening because people hide in who they are. People hide in their true desires, or they trying to fit in the box, or somebody told them to feel bad about something that they ain't want to feel bad about. And ain't nothing wrong with being private if that's what you want. You don't have to keep that shit a secret. Just go to therapy and live your life as loud as you want to. You ain't got to be ashamed. And shouldn't nobody be making you feel ashamed about it. Any of it. So, if sex is the issue, go to therapy because we do got a lot of sexual trauma, especially when you talk about certain experiences that some of our ancestors had, and not only this land, in many land, like in the land, because it wasn't always separated like it is now, regardless of what anybody say. And I don't know, because I'm not a historian like that. Like, I get information and I'm like, okay, so there has been, like I said, a lot of issues that we have had that we may need some therapy for. And that's cool. We go get our therapy. Heal from that. Elevate. But don't let nobody tear you down. And the other thing that I was saying, oh, so I brought that up because I was saying like the 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 information that I had came across about the women, the evidence that the oldest bones here in America, in the U.S. were like however old, like really old, and then the first and um the the bones like that they only seen, it was a black woman, female, and they only seen the female bones for that was on this earth for quite some time before they even seen a male counterpart. And I was like laughing because what came to mind was women. Like it was like one of my people was like, yeah, we keep telling them like, and then I actually saw the image of like a woman going out doing the rituals and like allowing the blood, allowing her monthly blood to saturate the earth as a sacrifice, well, as an offering to the earth, because the earth wanted her blood. It's gold to them. It's nurturing to them. And then it was like, in that she was creating um, a whole other relationship and dynamic with the earth. And then it was like, uh, and that was just off her blood. And then it was some other stuff. And then it was also when a man goes out, because like you heard like a man spilling his seed on the ground, like what does that do? Or is that like seen the same as an offering? Because I haven't heard that before. But when women give their blood to the universe, it's often in the ritual. And like women be having a lot of rituals and things that are very intimate with nature. So why would we not think that we would be able to create with nature? And then you think about uh, hermaphrodites, which are created with both, who are both created with both female and male extremities and in parts. And you like technically she could have sexed herself and created a whole nother being in that reality. That's kind of what came to mind. And also understanding that in the womb we all start off as female, the testicles come later. So yeah, female. And it doesn't have to take anything from you. Let's celebrate life.